As you can see, I am repurposing a canvas board. This one measures 11 by 14, and I'm in the mood for something Christmassy, but not in a conventional way. I don't mind the traditional colors, but I want to do something funky. And I was thinking of using some of these stamps by Patti Tolley Parrish. I love these two circles, one with the hieroglyphics and one with the dangles. And I'm also going to be using these in lieu of icicles. And I've done this previously last year for my New Year's postcard. I used this, and I'll put the photo around here somewhere. And stay tuned later on, because somehow I ended up with a duplicate of this stamp set, and I'm going to give it away to one of you. So make sure that you stick around for that until the end. Okay, so right now I'm going to concentrate on the background, and I'll show you the colors that I'll be using, and then I'll mute myself because I'm just going to play around with the colors. So I have here medium violet, cobalt turquoise, phthalo turquoise, green gold, and a lot of white. So I'm just going to play with that. I'm also going to probably spray with water, but I really want a dark background. The one thing that I have to keep in mind is not to mix this with the wet paint, especially with the violet, because this is going to create the brown that I don't want. So I'm going to probably dry this in between, or after I'm done using these, and then just add touches of the green gold afterwards. Alright, so I gave it a bit of movement here at the bottom because I'm going to do, this is where the tree is going to be, so I kind of placed my horizon line. And the tree is going to be heat embossed with embossing powder. For this, of course, this needs to be totally dry. You've also seen me going over with my dry brush while I was drying the paint, and because I wanted to create some kind of streaks. And when you do this, when your paint is kind of like semi-dry, you get cool effects. Like for instance here, I was able to drag some of the paint down. So it's a technique that I like to use when I do my this is kind of like an abstract slash modern painting. So right now it doesn't look very Christmassy, but you'll see once I start adding the heat embossed tree, it will take a different look. Now I'm going to stamp with Versamark ink. This is a clear ink. It's perfect for embossing. And for embossing, I'm going to use the Snowflake embossing powder by Ranger. It's actually called Embossing Tinsel. So it has a white base with some tinsel flakes in it. To grab the leftover embossing powder that I'm going to spray over this, I have a piece of copy paper, and then I can just use that to put the powder back into my jar so as not to waste anything. That I've kept in mind while I was building my layers is to leave, to create some layers without too much texture, because these stamps have some kind of detail to them, and if I stamp over a lot of texture, it might not stamp really well. It's not going to give me a perfect impression, obviously, because I do have little bumps, but as close as possible without being too perfect. The other thing too I want to mention is that if you're using an embossing powder that has some kind of glitter or tinsel in it, shake your bottle once in a while so that you don't get just embossing powder or tinsel, depending on which is heavier in the bottle. The heavier will sink to the bottom, and then the light stuff will be on the surface. So when you pour your powder, you might have just too much of one and not enough of the other. So just a few things to keep in mind. I'm going to start by the hieroglyphic circles. You also need a very juicy Versamark pad. There are refills for that. So I do have a refill, and I just inked it up. Okay, so I want my first circle to be kind of off to the side here. It's going to be very difficult for you to see, and for me as well. So I think I'm going to emboss this particular one right away so that I can see where I'm going. So I got my paper ready right here, and I'm going to shake my bottle and pour the stuff right over that. And be generous, because like I said, you can recuperate the leftover. I just use a dry brush just to shake off the excess, because I'm doing this on paint. I've never done this on paint actually. So it's an experiment, and here I'm going to show you. This is what I do. I folded my paper in half so there's a crease in the middle, so it's easier to dump all these the powders, the leftover powder. All right, and now I'm going to take my heat gun and emboss this. And I do apologize for the noise, but I really want to walk you through this process. For those of you who have never done embossing, you're going to see your powder change color, and depending on what kind of embossing powder you're using, sometimes you'll have that wet look, especially I'm going to use gold at the end, so you'll see more of what I'm talking about. But you see how the white now has turned like a very vibrant white? Okay. So you can see, I don't know if you can catch the tinsel while I'm moving this. Kind of tough. Let me just zoom in more. Yeah, you'll see the tinsel better on the photo because it's kind of tough to show on camera. So what I'm going to do is keep on doing the first layer. So I want 5 circles, and I'm going to be alternating between the dangles and the hieroglyphics. Both of them have kind of like a direction on the stamp, but I really don't care. I'm going to stamp them willy-nilly. And I'm just going to go wild and stamp right next to this, although I can't really tell. where one ends and the other one begins. I can kind of tell if I look at it from a distance. All right, and I'm not adding my stamps in a very symmetrical order. I'm varying, like I don't want to do 1, 1, 1, 1. All right. Oh, I didn't do too bad. Look at that. I can clearly see the shape of the tree, which is fun. I love using geometric images. It makes me think of different ways that I can use them up. Okay, so now I'm going to repeat the process, and I'll be cutting here because otherwise it'll be too long for you to watch. But essentially I'm gonna keep building the layers until I reach just one at the top. This is what my tree looks so far. It's a little skewed, but that's done on purpose. I didn't want to have anything too perfect because I'm going to be adding some fillers in gold. The first thing I'm going to do is add the tree topper, and I've got this image from the set number 3, which is right here. I thought it'd be perfect for a star, so I'm going to do the same thing. And add that topper right on top here. And this time I'm going to take gold embossing powder. I'm going to change my catch sheet because I've done that mistake once to transfer some tinsel in a regular embossing powder, and that's kind of not fun because you have to pick it up with a spoon and then you waste. So I just happen to keep my gold embossing powder in there. This is detail gold, so it's going to give me a nice and crisp image. Let's heat set that. Ta-da! I mean, I used to be a big time card maker, and I've done heat embossing a lot, but it never fails to impress me. Look at that. Isn't that fun? So now what I'm going to do is take another stamp from set number 3 as well. This is this one. I'm going to use this as filler. I'm also going to be using the eraser on a pencil to make smaller Christmas balls, I guess, or ornaments. So I'm going to be doing that to fill in the areas or the gaps that I have on my tree. I think for the small ornaments, I'm going to do white first, and we'll see what we end up with. So I'm just using the eraser of my pencil. How fun is this? All right, so Gold ornaments? Oh, heck, why not? We've come this far. Let's keep going. The last embossing I want to do is to create frost sickles. So I'm going to use this image right there from the set number 3. And this time I'm not going to put it on blocks because I don't want to have the straight edge. If I do, it's not a big deal, but I just want what I see as icicles. And I'm going to be adding a little bit here, a little bit here, just to finish off the piece. So I'm mostly going to put pressure at the bottom right here. And whoops, I'm going blind here again, but that's okay. Maybe here a little bit. All right, let's emboss this and see what it looks like. For this, I'm not going to use the white though. I'm going to use the holographic embossing powder. This is another Ranger embossing powder. So this has a transparent base as opposed to white. So all that we're going to see after I've heat set that is just the tinsels. Ooh, this looks awesome. Oh, I'm liking this so far. Well, this is fun. This just adds the perfect shimmer that I was looking for without taking away from the tree. Because if I had done this with the Snowflake powder, it would have been too much, I find. So I'm liking this. Oh yeah. I kind of want to reinforce this line here, so I'm not going to go all the way to the edge, but I will take white paint with a sponge and just dab a little bit. To pick up the leftover embossing powder that I have on my work surface, I just use the Swiffer refills, or Swiffer sweeper refills, and it just picks it up beautifully. I know there are some official embossing powder picker-upper, I don't know how they call them, but I find that this works just fine for me, and you know, as you can see, it sticks to the sheet, so I usually clean my work surface with that, and it's a cheap way to do it. I was going to add a quote to the canvas, but I decided against it. I have a small bottle with some white acrylic paint and airbrush medium, and I'm going to redefine that line here. Yep, that's all I needed. Still bothers me that this is higher than at the bottom. All right, much better. Yep, now I feel good and balanced. Okay, so that was the my first Christmas project of the year. I don't know why I got into the Christmas spirit. I don't. I had this idea. I had to get it out of my head. All right, so now on to the giveaway portion. This is the PTP Elements set number 3 by Patti Tolley Parrish, and I have this duplicate that I would like to gift to one of you. And here are the contest rules. You're going to either leave a comment on YouTube below this video, not any other video, but below this video, or on my Facebook page. And so I'll share just on my Facebook page, not on my personal profile. So you can leave a comment to both places. Of course, I would appreciate it if you are a subscriber of my YouTube channel, and also if you have liked my business page, that'd be great. And I would like you to answer the following question. what is your favorite color combination for Christmas? Okay, and people that are not answering this question, unfortunately, will be disqualified. I gotta make it a little bit tougher, you know, because that's a great stamp set. And by the way, if you haven't checked out Patti's either blog, YouTube channel, she does a stream, at least one stream every week, I think, or more. And I will link all her information down below. And no, I'm not paid to say this. I just happen to love, love, love her stamps, images. She also has great stencils with iStencils, and I love them because they're geometric shapes, and I can just use them for different things, as you have seen here. So I genuinely love her work. She does beautiful work as well, and her products. So good luck to everybody. I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. I've had a blast doing this. It brought back memories of my card making days, and it was an experiment. I just wanted to see if I could pull it off, and I think I did. So thank you so much for watching. As usual, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below, and I will see you later. Bye.